Working with text functions. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand what text functions are. You should be able to explain why text functions are important. You should be able to identify common text functions in Excel. You should be able to extract characters from text using left, right, mid. You should be able to count character using len. You should be able to remove extra spaces using the trim function. You should be able to change text case using the upper function or lower function and the proper function. You should be able to join text using the concat function. And you should be able to apply text functions to clean and organize real-life data sets. What are the text functions? Text functions are Excel functions used to work with text data instead of numbers. They help you manipulate, organize, clean, and format text automatically. So that means when a cell has been formatted to be a text, any of these text functions can work on it. Yes, it can work on it. So imagine you have the name John Smith. Instead of correcting it manually, Excel can automatically change it to what? John Smith, whereby the J and the S is capitalized, because normally if you are writing the name of a person, it's supposed to come in form of capital letter. The first word of the name is meant to come in form of capital letter. Now imagine you have 300 data and you give them maybe a Google form that they should enter their details, that they should enter their name, and some of them entered it in maybe they use small letter to write their name. And you as data analyst, you want to like present that data. You cannot present. Some persons will use small letters to write, some persons use big capital letter to write. You can't just present it like that. There is the place of you trying to adjust what they have written to fit into what you are doing. Now let's say it's just one person, you can just go there and change the small letter J to capital letter J, change the small letter S to you get. But when you are dealing with something that involves like maybe 500 record has been entered, 1000 record has been entered, what do you need to do? You need to start using all of these functions. All right, so text functions can help you extract part of a word, join two or more words together, count characters, remove unnecessary spaces, convert text to uppercase or lowercase, and capitalize names correctly. So why are text functions important? Many real-world data sets contain text functions, text information. Examples include the customer names, the employee IDs, the product codes, the email addresses, the departments, cities, countries. Without text functions, cleaning large data sets would take hours. So without the help of the text functions, cleaning such a large data set will take a lot of time. Why? Because you might have to want to be doing it one after the other. So the benefit of the text functions is that it saves time, it reduces manual work, it improves data quality, it standardizes records, it prepares data for analysis, and it makes reports more professional. So real life applications of the text functions. So the text functions are used in many different forms. Okay, it's used in many industries for various reasons. Businesses, okay, for various reasons. And the first, you can use it in business. And in business, what do you use it for? You use it to standardize customer names, to create employee IDs, to clean product descriptions. Those are the things you use the text function for in businesses. Then in banks, it is used to format customer account names, clean imported customer records. In school, you use it to organize student names, generate admission numbers, and so on. In hospital, it can be used to standardize patient records, format medical IDs. E-commerce companies, you can use it for cleaning product names, to organize inventory information. Wherever there is text in Excel, text functions can help make the data cleaner, more consistent, and easier to analyze. So introducing the left function. The left function extracts a specified number of characters from the beginning left side of a text string. So it means when you have a text string, like for example, you have gifted 2026. If you want the word, you now want the word only gifted to retain, you can use the word left function to extract the first few characters. automatically instead of typing the words again. So left is used when extracting product codes, getting the first name from an ID, separating prefixes from codes, cleaning imported dates, and so on. So the syntax of the left function is equals to left text, comma, number characters. So the arguments are text and num characters. Text is the cell or text. Cell text is the cell or text that Excel should read, while num characters is the number of characters you want Excel to extract from the left side. So if you look at it, it has two arguments, text and num characters. So text will give you the cell range, that's the text to which you want the Excel to deal with. Then the num characters is the number of characters that you want it to extract for you. So now, for example, let's say you have in cell A2 gifted 2026, the formula left A2, 6. A2 now being where the text is. That's where the text is, gifted 2026. So the 6 there tells us that you are telling Excel that it should extract 6 words from the left. So the left is the G. It starts extracting GIFTED. That's extracted out as what? As the first 6 letters. So the right function does something similar to the left function, just that its own extraction starts from the back. That's from the right hand side. So for example now, if maybe you have in cell A2 you have INV, then hyphen, then 45892. I tell you to return right A2, 5. What it will return is what? The 5 words that you have, which is 45892. That 5 numbers that is at the back. Why? Because it is counting from the right. It is counting from the right. So let's look at the mid function. What does the mid function do? The mid function, for example, like sometimes you might want to like get a middle text. So let's say you have gifted 2026 and you want to bring out TED, TED. So because it is TED you want to bring out, it means you cannot use the left function, you cannot use the right function. So the best function to use here is the mid function. And mid function is just like looking for middle values. So you can look at the first set of values, cut out some numbers, the next set, cut out some numbers, and pick the middle value to which you want. So if you look at the syntax, we have mid state, text, start number, number of characters. So the mid contains three arguments. So the first one is the text, that's the cell to which you want to deal with. Then the next one is the start number, from what point should this start deleting. Then the next one is number characters, the number of characters you want it to extract. So now suppose cell A2, which is EMP 2026-001. The formula equals to mid of A5, that means A2 rather. So we are dealing with A2, the cell that contains EMP, whatever. Then start number is now what? 5. That means we are saying that EMP and the hyphen, because the hyphen is also a character. So EMP and the hyphen are taken out. Then count 4 characters from there, and that's why it will return what? 2026, 2026. Okay, so dealing with the mid function, mid, let's say we are dealing with the department, and then we want it to start from the 4th character and count 4 characters. So this is it. This is the value. So starting from the 3rd character, it counts for, from the 4th character, it counts 4 characters. So another is the LEN function. The LEN function is used to count the number of characters in a text. So now we have a text as let's say we have a text gifted. If you press LEN for it, it will just count how many words are there. Look at, say suppose we have cell A2 that contains what? Gifted tutors. So the LEN character will Excel counts every characters including the space between gifted and tutors. So the LEN function is useful for checking password length, validating employees, validating employee IDs, checking account numbers, identifying unusually short or long text entries. Let's look at the trim function. Sometimes data copied from websites, datasets, or other systems contains extra spaces which unnecessarily spaces which these unnecessary spaces can cause formulas to return incorrect results. So the trim function removes all extra spaces while keeping a single space between words. So the syntax of the trim function is trim text, just pick the text. So suppose you have cell A2 that contains John and a lot of space with Smith. The formula trim A2 will return what? John Smith and just one space. So trim is just like it aligns the text to become just a space in between them. So trim removes leading spaces, it removes trailing spaces, it reduces multiple spaces between words to one space. Then the trim function is used for cleaning imported customer records, preparing employee lists, cleaning survey responses, standardizing names before analysis. Okay, so looking at the data, we discovered that the first name here, some of the information there are not written correctly. So what do? Just use the trim function, trim, then you pick the cell, then you enter it. So what do you do from here? Since you have entered it here, you don't have to enter it for all, just fill it. And when you fill it, you get what you want. The upper function. The upper function converts all letter in a text string to uppercase. So you want to convert all the letter in the text to what? To capital letter. Uppercase is capital letter. If that is your aim, converting everything to capital letter, then you can make use of the upper function. The upper function. So let's assume you have in cell A2 now, you have John Smith, which is written in small letter, and you want it to convert to capital letter. All you just need to do is what? You write equals to upper of A2 and then to return John Smith in capital letter, then you copy it, you fill it through. So businesses use upper to standardize customer names, to format product codes, to display department names consistently, and to prepare official reports. So only the letter case changes. The actual words remain the same. So we discovered that the names here, they are not written in the right case. Some write in a capital letter, some write in lower letter. So we want it to come in capital letter, just use upper. So once you pick upper, you select the text and you change it, it turns to capital. So the lower function converts all letters in a text string to lowercase, that is small letter. So the syntax of the lower function is equals to lower text. So for example, suppose cell A2 contains John Smith, which is capital letter. The formula equals to lower A2 will return John Smith, which is what? Small letter. So lowercase is just like saying upper converts to capital letter, lower converts to small letter. So we have the upper. So let's say we want to deal with lower, we just say lowercase. Then we have this. Then it returns everything in proper. Yes, what does proper do? So proper capitalize the first letter of every word and formats and converts the remaining letters to uppercase. So let's say you write John Smith, even irrespective of how you've written it, by the time you use upper, it's going to become John, then Smith, then the J and S being capital letter. Why? Because a new word will carry the capital letter. That's where proper works. Okay, so you might want to use proper, then you pick your text. So what does it do? It capitalizes the first letter. So we have the concat function. The concat function is used to join two or more text values into one. Instead of typing information manually, Excel combines the text automatically. So let's say you have maybe in a column now, it contains first name. You have another column that contains last name. Then how do you will now want to create a new column that brings first name with last name as a word, a single word. What do you use? Just use the concat function. So the concat function, you select the cells to which you want to join together, and you can join even up to 3, 4, 5, 6, and many words together. So what is the syntax of the concat? The concat is what? Equals to concat text1, text2, dot. So the first one now is, that's, for example, the first text. What do you want to appear as the first text? then comma, what do you want to appear as the second text, then comma, what do you want to appear as the third text. That is how the concat function works. So for example, if you have cell A2 that contains John and then cell B2 that contains the text Smith, it means the formula equals to concat will be what? A2, comma, then the quotation, then comma B2, and then it will return John Smith, where the J and the S is capitalized. Okay, so for the aspect of concat function, so just pick let's say this text, then comma, then this text. So join them together, we have the text as 1. We have the text as 1. Can we see? So it's just because we need to put this